When you've been injured in an accident, one thing leads to another. Your injury leads to treatment. Treatment leads to hospital bills. Bills lead to debt. Debt leads to stress. The advocates can help relieve that stress. Having an advocate attorney on your side leads to faster resolutions, fair outcomes, and a peaceful recovery for you. You deserve an advocate.
All right, welcome to the hour of technical difficulties on the Monty Show. So we had a mixer meltdown on the show, so I cannot actually play the opening little thingy-majigger that we usually play.
Okay.
So, and I cannot hear Jake. I cannot hear a word that Jake is saying.
Who can hear who? Can you guys both hear in the chat? Can you guys hear Monty?
Yeah, I don't know if this is craziness. So yeah, in the chat, if you can hear me, if you can hear us, that would be great. Yeah, because we have no idea how on earth. Yeah, you can hear us both. We just get, hey, that's great. Good news. They can hear us both. I guess we can do a show. I guess we'll just do a show on good old cell phone technology until we can figure it out. The Monty Show is always presented by The Advocates at theadvocates.com, the best injury attorneys in the business. Again, another busy weekend, and here we are. Why are you calling me? And, of course, Jake now is calling me
so
as
that you
I'm
can hear
doing
me.
the show, which is great news. That's awesome. The Advocates, another busy weekend. Let's hope that you didn't get into an accident. But if you did, you can get 24/7, 365 support from the Advocates, because you could talk to an injury attorney, not a chat bot, not some AI thing, a real life attorney, 24/7, 365 at theadvocates.com, which is exactly what the Big 12 needs to do, because I think this was one of the worst weekends. And really, it feels like one of the worst starts to a season for the Big 12 in some time. I mean, if we look back on the Big 12 and we start talking about, hey, what do we see and what's good and what's bad, I don't think that there is any question that what's going on in Manhattan, Kansas is shocking. I have no idea how you explain the start that K-State's off to. But you know what? I think, Jake, K-State is probably the biggest concern I have in the Big 12.
Yeah, I mean, I just think it's a situation where K-State is woefully underperformed. And I think that, it's a classic case of, K-State, all the talk before the season was, K-State's going to contend for the conference. K-State's going to do this. K-State's going to do that. And Avery Johnson hasn't been that guy. The defense hasn't been great. The run game, obviously, losing Edwards there early in the year to that little ankle roll, obviously isn't ideal. And I think that the Big 12 is in this situation where once again, 2 years in a row, the team that everyone thought was going to win the conference isn't probably going to win the conference at this point, unless they get a lot of help, unless they just rip off like 8-9 in a row. Like that's not going to be the situation this year. And that's where it's just really unfortunate, because K-State really should be better than they are. And I would just say they've had a really disappointing start overall.
Yeah, no question. I obviously with what's on the line for K-State and what's on the line for the Big 12, it is really disappointing that this team seems to just not be up to par with where they had been, and certainly what the expectations are. And the funny thing is, it's not as though Avery Johnson has been terrible across the board. Was he good this past weekend? No, he was not. The interception that essentially ended the game, I don't even know how you explain that throw. I don't know how you explain just how bad K-State has been. And, it feels like you want to understand it. It feels like you want K-State to be good and they want to break out. But I just don't think Avery Johnson's that guy. And I hate saying that, because I feel like I'm being a jerk about it. But I just think they're not dynamic. They are not hard to defend. And, you look at some of the numbers coming out of this game, and it's wholly unimpressive. And I don't know how you fix this. When I look at the Big 12 and the storylines that we have in the Big 12, I don't know how you fix what's going wrong in this conference, because when I look at K-State, K-State's going to Tucson this week to take on Arizona. And I just, with what we've seen out of Noah Fafita and the Arizona offense, I would expect Arizona to win that game.
Yeah.
As crazy as that probably sounds, I would not have said that a month ago. But I also wouldn't have said anything other than I expect K-State to be undefeated at this point. And now I look at this offense, and you only gave up 24. The problem is you only scored 21, and it's Army. So it's not like you're playing one of the best teams in the country. And you look at Avery Johnson, who goes 15 to 25, 172 yards with a pick and an interception. And Jake, it's just another bad performance by an offense that we expected more out of.
Absolutely. And yeah, I mean, I think you're exactly right. I think that, playing against that Arizona offense is not going to be some cakewalk for K-State. And, it's even more difficult is when you're losing games you shouldn't lose. Obviously momentum goes both ways, so when you're winning, obviously the momentum helps you. When you're losing, the momentum doesn't help you, quite frankly. And obviously, I think it goes without saying that when guys like Avery Johnson have NFL aspirations and everyone expected them to be better, and then, again, not to rip the kid, but I just don't think that he's not been anything close to what anybody thought he would be, whether it's the pre-snap stuff, whether it's the accuracy stuff, like none of it is where it should be. And I think that's what's most disappointing. Like, I could understand if K-State had played their best football and Iowa State just had figured it out in that game or whatever, if K-State had just played flawless football against their opponents so far and they just lost, that'd be a different conversation. But there's so many opportunities that this team is just giving away, and it's as little as an off-target throw. It's as big as being undisciplined in the secondary, so guys are wide open, running free. And that's where I say, I'm not going to sit here and be like, hey, you got to fire everybody, burn the whole house down. But what I am saying is hey, how is this season going to turn around? How do you salvage eight, 9 wins out of this, or how do you make it feel good towards the end of the year? Because that starts right now.
Well, and I think one in this Army game, not to belabor the point on K-State, but in this Army game, the defense just couldn't get off the field. I mean, to be 2-1, Army had double the possession time that K-State had. And you look at the fact that they converted 50% of their third downs, the Black Knights did, 6 of 7 on fourth down. They just dominated K-State. And again, I think when you look at the idea that K-State only ran for 74 yards, and the worst part is the total offense, K-State only had 246 yards the entire game. And again, that's why I say I don't necessarily put this on Avery Johnson, although that interception was bad, but I don't see how you come back from this. I truly do not understand how you come back from it. I think it's a huge problem. And then I look at Arizona State, and this is one of the most perplexing losses, because this was an Arizona State game that you felt like, hey, if this is how this is going to go, Arizona State's going to win this game. And then they straight up did not win this game. And Sam Leavitt was simply not very good at all. He completes 10 passes on the entire game against a Mississippi State team led by Blake Shapen, who I think we're all familiar with. But you look at Sam Leavitt in this game, he was absolutely horrendous. And I look at some of the numbers in this Arizona State game, and we can sit here and we can try to spin this any way you want. But Arizona State, by the numbers, should have won this game. Right? They both had 300, Mississippi State had 345 yards, Arizona State had 332. But Sam Leavitt throws for 82 yards, and this is a guy that a lot of people had aspirations of being like a Heisman contender, and that just never happened. And I never thought that I would say this, but you look at a Kenny Dillingham team, and this is just one of those things where I'm like, dude, this is one of the worst performances I think I've ever seen out of a Kenny Dillingham team.
Yeah, we got to be better. I mean, like I said, our offense in general, too many drops on offense as a group. It was a bad day. I mean, it was a really, really bad day on offense. And it all stems from passion we play with. Is it okay to not make a play? And if you accept it, then you accept it. And that's who you're going to be. Don't be mad going 5-7. It's okay. Don't be mad going 6-6. Don't be mad going 3-9 because somebody has to go those records. There's going to be tons of teams who do it. Why not us? We didn't practice bad. What I mean by that is, like, we didn't bust. We didn't MA. We threw one pick. Like, we didn't practice bad. We didn't practice with passion. We didn't care if we scored a touchdown. We didn't care if there was an interception, right? We didn't care if somebody made a great play for most of practice. We were just out here practicing. And to me, the best teams, it matters all the time. You want to win everything. And today we didn't have that mindset. We didn't want to win. We wanted to practice. And those are two different mindsets to me.
Right.
Good practice of complacency. It was a good practice for a bad team. It was an average practice for an average team.
Yeah, I mean, without a doubt. I mean, I think that Kenny is couldn't be more accurate, and I think that, you know, the frustrating part is, like, you lose, obviously in the offseason you lose Scat, and everyone's like, oh, well, he was your entire team, and now it's starting to look that way. And what's frustrating is, you know, you watch this game, and yeah, sure, the numbers are ugly for Sam Levitt, but what's even worse is that the throws were just not competitive. That's what's frustrating to me, is that you have something taking place where you're just not, you don't look good. You're not anywhere close to what you should be. So I just think that if you're ASU right now, you're sitting here trying to figure out, well, hey, like, what the hell are we going to do to bounce back? And again, this is the story of the Big 12, in my opinion, this year, which is, hey, like, some teams are bad. And ultimately we got to be better, and that there's no getting over that.
Well, I also think that when you're in the Big 12, I just don't know how. I honestly don't know how you fix it. I guess that's the biggest thing that I would say is I have no idea how you fix it, and I think it's one of those things where you just don't. I don't know, man. I think it's going to be very, very interesting. It's going to be very interesting to see how all of that plays out. And Arizona State's another big one that I think is a huge problem. But then again, I look at BYU, and again, I want to try. I'm not trying to be negative Nathan here, you guys, but I look at BYU, and is there anybody that is excited about what we've seen out of BYU's quarterbacks? Because, Jake, I have to tell you, I am as unimpressed with BYU's quarterback situation in their pass attack that I am of any team that we've seen at all. And I don't know that we have any reason to be enthusiastic about BYU whatsoever.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, coming out of the gates here, you've got two bad opponents, right? You've got, obviously, Stanford's not good, and I don't even need to mention your week 1 opponent. And the problem is, against these teams, like, everyone thought, oh, well, Bear Bachmeier, young guy, big talent, like, and listen, BYU fan, I understand the hype. I get it. I understand the hype. You love a young guy. You guys love a headband wearing dude at BYU. I totally understand. But the reality of the situation is that once again, we're 175 for 6.5 yards on average. We're not 250. We're not 300. We're in a place where they're clearly trying to figure it out. And again, I hate that we have to do this, where it's like this team and that team and the other team, like, we're just going down the Big 12 ledger. And it's like, yeah, all these teams are struggling. All these teams are not in a good place. All these teams are not doing what they should be doing. But it's the reality of the situation. Yes, there are positives out of this conference this week, but Bear Bachmeier and his performance and once again the play calling probably isn't one of them. Like, with all due respect, like, yeah, you won the game 27-3, and that's great. But what's going to happen when you go to East Carolina? Like, what's going to happen when you start playing a little bit better cut of opponent? At that point, then we're gonna start to see the turnovers go up. We're gonna start to see that defense get exposed a little bit, and that's when I think you're gonna start to see who this team really is. Unfortunately,
yeah. And then I think you got to talk about Oak State as long and as far as we have tried to push this off. I there's no way to do it. And I'm tired of the excuses, and I'm tired of Oak State fan that's going to make excuses. And this is a poorly coached team that is lacking tremendously in talent. I've told you all summer long their transfer portal work was terrible. I look at the coordinators that they hired, terrible hiring decisions, not firing Mike Gundy, cutting his pay under the guise of NIL. And I'm tired of the excuses. I'm tired of Oak State fans showing up here week after week talking about how things could turn around, and things are not going to turn around, because let's make something very clear. This team is massively untalented, and the talent that is on the field is poorly coached. And that is 100% on Mike Gundy. And I don't care how many years Mike's been there. This team has been irrelevant for just about 5 years now, where they simply don't matter in the grand scheme of things in college football. And the Big 12 conference can't handle that. And if the humiliation of Ollie Gordon's DUI wasn't enough, if the humiliation of Mike Gundy talking about how he's done negotiating, if the humiliation of, the fact that Mike Gundy admitted that he doesn't want to talk about the portal and they hadn't paid guys through the portal or paid guys to play there, if it wasn't enough that Mike Gundy sat at Big 12 Media Day 2 years ago and talked about how their fans didn't want to play Oklahoma and he would hold the door open for them, if all of that was not enough, then you show up in Eugene woefully underprepared and not even I don't even know that it is unprepared. You had no idea what Oregon was going to do. And then after the game, you had no answers for it.
The first thing is when I made that comment, I was complimenting Oregon for what they had done. Right. The second thing is, which I said later in the week, we've made commitments also. All right, but we have to be better and fundamentally sound and execute. That's really what it comes down to. And then, as I said, sometimes you're going to play people that have the ability to run away from you. Okay, well then we got to look at that and see where we're at. But we didn't play good enough with the systems that we had and execute to put ourselves in that position.
Yeah, I don't know how do you fix that? How do you? Jake, I just don't know how you fix that.
Yeah, I mean, look, I don't know that there is a fix. I think that if you're an Oklahoma State fan, if you're even an observer, I think that it's a situation where he needs to be fired. It's as simple as that. He needs to be fired. He needs to be the program needs to be reset. And I really hate saying that because, the truth of the matter is, if we're being real, like Mike Gundy should be like one of the best coaches that ever did it and should be like a juggernaut in this conference, but he's just not. And I have to say, for all the flack I've taken for moving to Eugene and yada, 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 I was actually at the game for one quarter. I went to a tailgate. I was in the building for one quarter, and it wasn't even close. I'm talking about you had a situation unfold where I'm sitting there watching the game. Bro, Oregon ran 6 offensive plays in like 25 minutes, man. Like they absolutely, positively, flat out kicked wholesale ass. Call me duck season if you want to, but the dude took your team and said, you're not even there. We're just going to run right through you. And when we're not going to run, we're going to run a hook route up the sideline and we're going to bomb it 50 yards down the field. That's a tried and true ass kicking, dude. Like it doesn't get much more clear than that. And that's why I tweeted out over the weekend. There is no other solution. There is no other fix. It doesn't feel better. It doesn't get better. I don't want to hear about, Haas Hengy. I don't want to hear about this garbage offensive line, dude. He needs to be fired, and that program needs to be reset wholesale.
Yeah, and I think he should have been fired already. We can sit here and we can talk about how, that Mike Gundy feels this way or it's embarrassing. And frankly, it is terrible for this conference that Mike Gundy is allowed to continue being derelict in his duties and frankly, just not good enough as a head coach at Oak State. And you can put Haas Henchey, put anybody you want in a quarterback for Oak State. That does not excuse blown assignments and poor preparation on the defensive side of the ball. That's really shitty coaching is what that is. That's a lack of talent because you don't want to use the modern tools that are being given to you. And again, I'm telling you, it is terrible that Oak State fan wants to defend Mike Gundy. And I'm tired of the narrative that this is, Mike Gundy's given up because he wants to get fired. If Mike Gundy wants to get fired, I'm so tired of the excuses. Stop making excuses and fire the guy. The right thing to do is he needs to resign and never coach another down of football at Oklahoma State. What he chooses to go on and do and where that happens, hey, more power to you. Best of luck. What I'm telling you is Mike Gundy is not fit to be the head coach at Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State fans, as passionate as you are and as blind as you tend to be, you deserve better than Mike Gundy.
Yeah, I
simply do. Negotiate the buyout and get him out of Stillwater, because Oklahoma State and the Big 12 deserve better than what he's giving them.
Yeah, well, I mean, without a doubt, and I think the other part of this conversation that I think needs to be talked about is this nonsense out of Mike Gundy. It's bad enough that you just look like absolute trash on the football field, like you just look terrible. But to double down on that, obviously there was all this conversation about, hey, well, Gundy said what he said, and then Dan said, hey, it wasn't a big deal, and then Dan Lanning goes on to say, well, hey, we didn't need extra motivation. We didn't need, it's not about extra motivation when we want to go kick someone's ass. Like, do you understand that there's a reason they dropped, what was it, 69 points or whatever it was? Like, that was personal, bro. So why would you do that to yourself? It's silly.
Yeah, you listen to Dante Moore after the game, and it's pretty funny.
You attack our head coach like attacking, my dad, to be honest. It's like you're attacking a family member. And I feel like as a whole team, it's kind of, it hit close to home. And we knew that every week that, there's always going to be some trash talk happening. But for him to attack Phil, him to attack Coach Lanning, or attack our team was kind of personal. And this whole week, we just used that as fire to make sure that we push ourselves and scored 69 points, and we did that. And it was a lot of fire under this game, but overall I felt like we were a cool, calm, and collective. But Coach Lanning said, we're going to keep the foot on the net and make sure we score as many points and try to break the scoreboard.
Well, I think that's as plain and simple as you can put it. They took what Mike Gundy said, and they took it personally, and I think that was very clear from the jump that they were going to punish Oak State. It just never had to happen. It never had to happen. This whole season should never have had to happen. I've got Oklahoma State fans in our comments section on a daily basis defending Mike Gundy. Stop defending him. This is indefensible. You got humiliated. And for TV anchors in Stillwater to be talking about how it's tragic because Oak State just 2 years ago was on the same trajectory as Oregon. You're out of your mind. At no time has Oak State ever been on the same trajectory as Oregon. It's embarrassing. And I just don't know at what point, you look at the way that SMU snatched defeat from the jaws of victory over the weekend to save Dave Aranda and 8-Ball in Waco. Hey, man, it was an amazing rescue pulled off by SMU to save Dave Aranda, or they'd be in the exact same spot, right? This league, and until the presidents at these universities get on board with the fact that guys like Dave Aranda, guys like Mike Gundy are not good enough to coach in this league. They're not. And Dave Aranda, in my opinion, is an elite defensive guy. He has no business being a head coach. Mike Gundy is probably and never was as a head coach, right? He's been a good head coach who was never going to get you to the promised land. He's shown that repeatedly. And now I think he's quit on Oklahoma State football. And I don't know how, if you look at Oak State, how do you have any other opinion than Mike Gundy isn't recruiting hard? Mike Gundy doesn't want to pay players. Mike Gundy doesn't want to use the transfer portal. Mike Gundy doesn't want to bring in coaches to be his coordinators who have different thought processes than he has, because Mike Gundy brought in guys where he can be comfortable. Mike Gundy brought in players who, frankly, are not good enough to go up against Oregon or any other team. It's why you were winless last year. But you sold Haas Hengy as a savior. He was never that. And you sold your fan base on a couple of dudes you brought into the portal who were never that. You got embarrassed, frankly. And I don't know how you fix that. And so I go up and down this list, and I say to myself, this has to be one of the worst weekends in Big 12 football in the last probably 3 years. Because as well as Texas Tech played, as well as, again, Utah played, who cares? They blew out nobodies, right? In 2 weeks, that's when we're going to find out who the best team in this conference is. Because right now, in my opinion, you are squarely looking at a league that is built around Texas Tech, Utah, and Iowa State. Because you're starting to see that Texas Tech can actually stop guys. But Iowa State got a very good win at home against Iowa in a game, frankly, that they easily could have lost. But again, they didn't, because that's what good teams do. And now you're looking at Iowa State, who's played their most difficult games. Iowa State's going to play for a Big 12 championship. Jake, I think it's just a question of who's going to join them.
Yeah, and I think when you talk about Texas Tech's defense, and this might sound a little nitpicky, but I just think it goes to kind of prove your point. Like right now, if I look at the game that Utah played, right, 63-9 over Cal Poly, and then obviously you're looking at Tech playing Kent State 62-14. So offenses are basically the same against crap opponents, right? Low 60s offenses, really good. But
yep.
the thing that kind of stands out to me against Tech is you let your foot off the gas. Where did they get the 14 points, bro? Oh no, they didn't get it in with field goals that were spread out periodically throughout the game that, maybe they just got to play here and play there. They scored 14 points on you in garbage time. And I know you're going to say, oh, well, that's nitpicking. You're being harsh. You're being a tortilla land hater. I'm really not. My main point here is when I look at the best teams in the Big 12, I don't think Tech is in best team in the Big 12 conversation yet. I have Utah and Iowa State as the two best teams in the Big 12, the two teams that right now, if you put them up against anybody in this conference, I'm taking them to win that ball game. And the reason for that is I'm not sure that Tech has that killer mentality yet. It's easy to score a bunch of times against a bad. Yeah. What's not easy to do? To hold them down and say, nope, it's not just about racking up points. We are going to make sure that you don't see the end zone today. And Utah did that. Texas Tech did not. And that's something that I think you need to pay attention to. But, certainly Tech would be in the second cut. Absolutely. And maybe they come out and surprise the Utah defense at some point or have a great win. But that's where I have those three teams right now.
Yeah, I'm a big believer in Texas Tech, Utah, and Utah and Iowa State are on different levels. I mean, you're looking at, and again, I know every long-standing Big 12 fan hates when I say nice things about Utah. But there were a couple of storylines. Like, I'll go back to BYU real quick as well. If Jake Rzoff is still the starting quarterback at BYU, we'd be having a very different conversation about the top of the table in the Big 12. Because that defense at BYU, LJ Martin, the running back at BYU, I look at Jack Kelly, I look at Isaiah Glasker, I think might be the best linebacker in the conference, and he's one of the best linebackers in the country. I mean, the way that Isaiah Glasker is playing right now at BYU, the way that defense is tackling, the way that they are dominating the line of scrimmage. Now, again, I understand it's Stanford, and you want to talk about hot ass. Stanford is hot ass. There is no question about that. But I don't think there is any doubt in my mind that as we sit here, I am as confident as I can be that BYU, if Jake Rzoff was on that team, I think BYU would be playing for a conference championship.
Without a doubt. And I think it's the dynamic running, it's the ability to read a defense. And, again, I think this is the hard part with, the whole situation that happened with Jake. Not to retread the details of that, but just like the way that kind of went down and what Jake had to deal with, and unfortunately what the decision BYU had to make, right? I mean, you notice that there was no drama with that. I think everybody was kind of on the same page about what needed to take place as far as Jake leaving the school. But what's crazy is, and obviously step down in talent, totally get it. But you go to another school in Tulane, and you look outstanding. You look like the guy that everyone thought you should be.
Yeah.
And again, kudos to Jake. Can't say that I'm surprised, though. This is exactly what we kind of told you he would be this year before the allegation came out and everything he had to deal with. So can't really say that I'm surprised. And frankly, the bigger surprise is not Jake Rzoff. It's Boise State looking average as hell. I mean, that's the reality if we're talking about the group of 5 / group of 6. Like that's the shocker. So I just think that we're in this spot where we now know who the haves and the have-nots are, both at the quarterback position and on a team level. Because, again, I know we touched on ASU. Sam Levitt's not that guy. Sorry, dude. Like, you can't have that much of a fall-off. When
do I get my flowers for that?
Yeah, and hey, you deserve your flowers. You were right. You're perfect,
When do you talk about how amazing I am? When do you talk about just that pimps are going to pimp and it's what Monty does?
You're a homer.
Because, Cam Scannaboo was nothing.
Yeah,
Sam Levitt's God.
Thick neck.
It turns out he's not. It turns out he's not. All right, the real Pete Forte, a member for 22 months. Real Pete Forte. Yes, it's been that long, Pete. Appreciate your support. Gundy's next contract extension for $5.
Thank you to whoever you are showing up with accounts with these names right here. I need this energy today.
I agree. We're just one QB away, Monty. Hey, Monty, we're just one QB away, Monty. Sure. Okay. So Chewy Gonzalez, Monty's comm issue reminds me of Oak State versus Oregon. It is so frustrating that I touched nothing here. Turn the show off Friday, turn it back on Monday, nothing works. Nothing works. Like, it's so incredibly frustrating. Chewy Gonzalez, should the Big 12 have gotten USF over Houston? No. Look, I love what USF is doing. I mean, do you guys believe USF is for real? I guess that's the question. I don't know how at this point you say they're not for real. I mean, South Florida gets another impressive win. They've beaten 2 ranked opponents. They're 2-0, and they have done it 52-26. Fully double. That's the score. Now they beat Florida 18-16 in what was a wildly entertaining game. But you're about to, and again, I'm probably a bitter-ass Notre Dame fan. We're going to find out what both USF and Miami are, because they've got to go to Miami this weekend, USF does, in a game that's in the middle of the afternoon, and that's not the easiest place to play under the sun. It truly is not. Cowpoke Ranch for $10. Gundy is trying to get fired.
Oh, here we go. Oh, so now it's so your ass kicking was intentional now. So you're saying that dude is out here walking back his comments and saying, "Oh no, it was actually a compliment. I mean, I wasn't talking out of my ass when I accused Dan Lanning of paying for wins. I never said any of that. It was a compliment." So now he's trying to get fired.
But this is the problem. This is what we do. If he quit, it would be obvious he's involved in an embezzlement of $41 million from the Innovation Foundation. Our university president had to step down in March.
Okay, with all due respect, just next comment.
He needs to be fired and prosecuted. Okay. Chewy for $2. Oak State wasn't hot ass on Saturday. They were diarrhea. Okay.
Hot ass.
Okay. Car Wash Channel, question for Jake. Oh, boy.
Here we go.
I have a question. What is all that crap in your car?
Dude, bro.
How much?
We can talk about this more. Dude, it's not garbage, bro. It's not garbage. It's not garbage. It's housing items from the storage unit. A little pee came out when I came to the realization I didn't know where my passport was, because we're going to Paris for Christmas. So I was like, all right, well, it's not in my backpack. Must be tucked away in the storage unit. And then, so we go through the storage unit, and naturally through that process, you find things that you were also looking for. And so we just wound up doing a haul and got a lot of stuff that we needed, honestly, that we missed having. But lo and behold, the passport was at the house the whole time, and that was just a productive visit to the storage unit.
And I'll never understand this. And I'm kind of going through a purging phase right now. I'll never understand why people keep stuff that you had in a storage unit for weeks and weeks. And you're like, oh, look at that. My condoms. I didn't even realize I needed them. And then you're just going to throw them in the back of your little midget clown car and drive them all over the place. Did you even bring it in the house?
All the stuff?
Yes.
Yes, not the whole thing, but yeah, a lot of it. Yeah.
Oh, well, not all of it. I mean,
that trip was meant as a compliment, dude. Come on.
I hate that people use their cars as garbage cans. It drives me
But
crazy.
I'm not using it as a garbage can, bro.
Oh, I'm sorry. I hate that people use their cars as a storage unit.
Well, what do you want
wrong?
me to do? What you are wrong, but it's fine. It's fine.
How am I
It's
wrong?
fine. Because, dude, because, man,
Okay.
when you have stuff in a storage unit and you're slowly unpacking the storage unit, that's what you do.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Certain people in your life use their cars as storage unit every day for as long as you've known them, but it's fine.
Mm-hmm.
And it's becoming infectious.
Mm-hmm.
That's the problem.
Sure. Right.
That's
Okay.
the problem. All right. Question for Jake. Why don't you film the show live in studio anymore with Monty? Because we live about 700 miles apart.
Can we just? I need to address the NE more. Can we get a proper ENEY? Yeah, I moved, bro. That's why.
My guy's on another level smelling. What do you want?
Right.
You know, because Jake lives like way far away. So, you know, and everybody is.
Yeah. So can we get an update? Are you now able to hear me?
Issue. You know, you guys, I understand there was a little reverb going on. You know, like I got my guy Mitch texting me. I count on you for good football analysis, not shitty audio. Figure it out.
Shut the fuck up, Donnie.
Thanks. Appreciate that, buddy.
Man, wow. We really wanted to have, quote, shitty audio. That's really what our goal was today, to have just awful, can't figure it out audio problems. So, Mitch, you're just such a great guy, dude. Thanks for listening. Thanks for subscribing. Man, just really good job, dude. Nice.
What would we do without that kind of amazing feedback?
Yeah. Wow. Quite literally. Quite literally.
Jake, Storage Wars coming soon.
No.
I'm not, dude. I really hope I never have to have a storage unit. I really do. Car Wash Channel. I don't like when people's cars are dirty and messy. In the car, it's like a junkyard in the car's interior. That's what I'm saying. Conundrum. Tickets to Paris, but no audio. Weak. Yeah, totally.
Yeah, dog.
Dude.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, Johnny Gonzalez says it's called Shodio. Exactly right.
Shodio. See what he did there?
Yeah, King of Thailand, too easy, Oak State James. I do not believe this hot take by you. Wait.
Oh,
James?
boy.
Here it is. Can I just eat my humble pie? Monty was right. I was wrong. Oak State is awful. but Hoss Hengy.
Dude, clean cut.
And Oak State James, don't think you're getting away with this. We're putting Hoss Hengy on your list.
That's true. That's 100% true.
We're putting Hoss Hengy on the list. Oh, Monty, didn't you say they had a great linebacker? Oh, the linebacker. Oh.
No, the defensive
Where's that
tackle.
linebacker?
Quote,
He was getting run over by
elite
Oregon.
defensive
That's right.
tackle.
Defensive tackle.
Yes.
Oh, Monty, let me tell you. Did you see this guy's defensive tackle that they got in the portal? His crack is deep, like unbelievable. How'd that work out? How did that work out? Not so good, man. Not so good at all. Wow, you guys, amazing. TJ Beck, talking to Gumby in a side conversation. Gumby, bud, couple more wins, you'll be ranked, man. Looking good.
Yeah, seriously.
Bailey Dietrich saying greater than underwhelming wood. Well, you never like to have underwhelming wood.
Stay hard.
Like, that's not good. Yeah, let's talk about Michigan. I don't know. Is Wasikowski here? Where's Wasikowski and his crap talking?
Nah, he won't be here. He won't be here.
How bad is Michigan football right now? You guys will say I'm biased. I am. I hate Michigan. But Bryce Underwood's not that guy. Not yet. And he'll have an opportunity to be when Sherrone Moore is not the head coach of the Michigan Wolverines. And I don't know how I can make this any more clear than to say this isn't going to work out with Sherrone Moore. The play calling, now, you didn't lose because of the play calling. You lost because Oklahoma's just bigger and stronger, and you apparently can't cover wide receivers. Other than that, you played great. But the play calling by Sherrone Moore for Bryce Underwood was as bad as I have seen. I have no idea what the plan was, and all I know is that when I look at Bryce Underwood, this situation right here, this is really problematic. Did you guys see this on the Michigan sideline? So wait, let me get this right. You played like ass, and then you were fighting with your teammates on the sideline. And I am telling you, this is a huge problem. He's not ready. He should not be the starting quarterback at Michigan. But when you pay him $8 gazillion, you've got to make him the starting quarterback at Michigan. Sherrone Moore is the wrong guy. And he's probably always been the wrong guy because you don't want to be the one replacing Jim Harbaugh. You want to be the one who replaces the one who replaced Jim Harbaugh. When Sherrone Moore gets fired, this program will be better for it, Jake, because I put a lot of the blame on Sherrone.
No question about it. I mean, I think it's a total lack of situational awareness out of Sherrone Moore and the coaching staff. I think, number one, when you have a young quarterback who's as talented as Bryce Underwood is, the first thing you have to decide is, okay, well, how are we going to play this season, right? Are we playing this season trying to win the most games possible? Or are we playing this season to develop our team and build for next year? And obviously your mantra to the players is always going to be, hey, we're trying to win as many games as possible. Rah, rah, we're Michigan. Screw it. Okay, cool. But as a coaching staff, your message to Underwood should be, hey, your job is to protect the football and run the offense. Not, hey, we're going to call a really extremely conservative game plan in the first half that limits your ability to throw the football and clearly makes it so that the Oklahoma State safeties are going to play like 5 inches from the line of scrimmage the entire half. And then to double down on that, in the second half, when you did try to open it up slightly, it just got worse because the throws were off target. You couldn't protect him. He had to move and throw on the run, and he's just not very accurate doing that, in my opinion. He did have a couple of nice ones rolling to his right towards the right sideline. And hear me clearly. I don't even feel like I saw all these people saying that this kid's trash, and he's not trash. He's not terrible. He's incredibly talented. He's got a ton of raw talent, and he absolutely should be a Heisman contender in 2 seasons. But he is not a Heisman contender right now. And again, that's no fault of his own. He needs development. And again, on the flip side for Oklahoma, I mean, I don't know how you're not just jumping for joy if you're a Sooner fan. How are you not sitting here saying, yeah, you know what? John Mateer is that dude. We just played a top tier, Big Ten program by everyone's standard, and we just won that game from offense and our defense making plays. Like, there's a reason John Mateer is sitting on the top 10 Heisman watch list. So I didn't feel like Underwood was just trash. I felt like the play calling wasn't very good, and his wide receivers did not help him at all. And that's why you lose the way you did, because you were competitive in the first half, not the second half.
I don't know that I can agree with that. I think Bryce Underwood was terrible. I think the decision-making, I think when you look at some of the numbers in this game, and you start to analyze, his throws and looking at his throws, dude, there was some really, really bad decision making. And again, I understand that he is somebody that, and I'm trying to be gentle. I know he's young. I totally get that.
18 years old.
But that I totally understand that. That does not excuse the way that he played. And I think that it is brutally bad when I look at some of his lack of understanding on what to do when he is being blitzed is shocking. It is. What were you looking at in some of these plays? I have no idea what was going through his head. And I think when I look at some of the decision making, maybe I just don't get it. And I'm okay if I'm completely lost. And I know that Michigan fans always tell me I'm stupid and I don't know ball. And do you even watch games? And apparently I don't. But I am telling you now, this is a huge problem. Sherrone Moore is not preparing Bryce Underwood to compete on a weekly basis, because we are now through multiple games and his problems are getting worse. They're not getting better. And obviously Oklahoma is the best opponent they've faced. And I warned you about Brett Venables versus true freshman quarterback. It never ends well. But I am telling you, when I look at the usage report, when I look at the play calling, yes, those are problems. Bryce Underwood had no idea what the defense was trying to do. And when you get into this one-trick pony nonsense where he's locked on a receiver and he's going to throw to one guy and one guy only, that's why you wind up getting sacked as much as he got sacked. It's why you wind up getting hit as much as he winds up getting hit, because you just cannot understand how difficult it is to play this game when you don't know where to throw the football.
But isn't that an indictment on the coaching staff? Because I agree he was very much one read, get rid of the football, which that strategy is pervasive in college football. Unless you have, just unless you have a John Mateer playing quarterback for you who understands the defense, is mature, loves to throw the football. Like, unless you have that guy, you're going to create a game plan that's like, hey, this is first read, this is second read. Make a choice. Like, make a decision. Like, you're not going to 9 times out of 10, you don't have a super complex offense working at the college level the way you would like in the NFL as an example. And I look at Underwood and I say, you're right. Some of those decisions were terrible. No question about it. Brutal. But he wasn't put in a very good spot by any stretch of the imagination. I mean, the idea that this team right here ran for 146, that's it? Like a Michigan-led football team. Sherrone Moore, Jim Harbaugh's guy, Mr. We lift weights on the offensive line. Mr. Hey, like, I'm going to come out here and dominate. That's not good enough when you have a freshman quarterback. I'm sorry. Like, 146 for another team might be great, but Justice Haynes has, 95% of that? Like, I just sit here and I say, look, I don't disagree with your take on him playing bad, but I guess I disagree on why that took place. Yes, some of the decisions were bad on his part, but I put this loss squarely on the coaching staff. And don't even get me started on Wink Martindale and that defensive scheme, because that was absolutely garbage out of them too. Terrible. Yeah,
it just was I don't even know that the scheme was bad. I just feel like Michigan's woefully untalented. I feel like they are really, really, really not talented enough. I don't even know how. That's the best way that I can describe it. I think they are just not talented.
I mean, they're a borderline top 25 team. It's borderline.
What's that?
They're a borderline top 25 team. Like, I'm not sure that they're just unequivocally top 25. If you line them up against a lot of teams 20 through 25, I'm not like, you look at the AP top 25, you say, hey, they play this team or that team. How's that working out for somebody?
Yeah, I disagree totally. I understand that Michigan's got some stuff defensively. I just think they're not talented. David Persons, a member for 8 months. Thank you, David. Appreciate that. Oh, wow. Look at that. Jake showed up. If Gundy were a man, he would be resigning soon. He's not. He's not.
I'm a man.
He's not. and he won't. You know, it is what it is. I got Utah 160 to nothing. Utah wins. Wyoming, you're going to lose your ass. I am telling you, Wyo is a very difficult place to play. Very difficult. Simping for Aranda for 32 has been a member for 32 months. Maury Alvarez. Michigan is hot ass.
It's true. It's true, dude.
They're a borderline top 25 team.
Hot
Shut up.
ass.
Get out of here. Talentless Fs. Anyway, here we go. Oak State James for $5. Here's a crazy idea. What if Mike Gundy retires and Oak State replaces him with Bro Kale Gundy? I don't know.
Bro, did you pull that out of the file cabinet in the ops building? Is that what that is? Is that what this is?
You say some shit, and I'm like, what am I supposed to do with that? You've got, you know the other issue that, and again, maybe this is not unique to Oak State, and in fact, I'm pretty certain that it's not. But you've got his sons out here insulting people on Twitter. Mike Gundy's kids are out here insulting people on Twitter. And okay, that's cool, bro. You do you. You do you. It's embarrassing. Embarrassing.
How do you
if you
want
fire Mike Gundy, he needs to be completely blown out.
How do you want anybody related to the Gundy tree in that position, bro? How do you how? I just, why would you not just move on? Get a fresh start.
No idea. D's nuts. What do you think the state of Utah football program is? What's the best program in the state, do you mean? Also, what are your odds of them beating Texas Tech? I think they're a very good chance that they could go 5-1, possibly 6-0. Love the show. I don't think there's a question right now that the Utah Utes are the best team in Utah. I mean, again, if Jake Rzoff was the quarterback at BYU, we'd be having a very different discussion because that defense is terrorizing people. But I've already seen a Utah team go on the road and beat, and I don't know how impressive that UCLA win looks now, with all due respect, Las Vegas. Because it doesn't help that Nico and UCLA looked ass again, and they did. But I think it is very interesting that here we sit, and we're trying to figure out how you're going to fix something. And the answer is, I don't know how you fix something at BYU that you just don't have a quarterback. That's what this is. You don't have a quarterback at BYU. You can't fix that. And it's funny. I was talking to a BYU fan on text this morning about the most awkward part of Bear Bachmeier's game. He doesn't know how to run the football like an athlete. So he can't slide or get down. It's really awkward the way he runs the ball. And you start looking at and everybody was like, well, hey, at least he threw the ball for 175 yards. Hey, that's great on a 6.5 yard average. So it's check down football. This team is going to have to run for 200 yards a week to win games. And I just don't think I think you're asking too much there, Jake.
Yeah, I agree with that. And I think that, the question of if you mean how good is Utah, I would have Utah to beat Texas Tech. And I only say that not based on offenses, but based on defenses. I think that the Utah defense is tried and true. I think that the scheme that they run is unique each week in terms of how what they show you pre-snap. They're very good at deception and disguise. And I think, when you have a quarterback at Texas Tech that likes to sling it, and likes to throw it, you're playing with fire against Utah. If you want to beat the Utes defense, you need to run the football effectively and then throw off of that. You can't be pigeonholed into just passing because you've already lost the game. So I would tell you, I would have no problem saying that I think Utah is capable of going 6-0 to start here, but we just they obviously got to prove it. But I really like the early returns.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that Utah's by far the best team in the state. There's just no there's just no doubt about it. There's just no doubt about it. Cowpoke Ranch. Bro, are you still on this innovation scandal? I get worn out on stuff like this. Mike Gundy was in no way implicated in this scandal, you guys. We talked about this a lot when it first happened. I don't know what else you want to happen. And I understand that you're hoping that, Casey Schrum goes to jail, and it's a nothing story, man. It's a nothing story for Mike Gundy. His contract being renegotiated was a direct result of the money they lost. It's not the biggest scandal in modern college football history. No, it is not. It's not even in the conversation. So I understand it feels like today you're on a mission to try and, okay, knock yourself out. West Virginia hires a kid to be GM. His name is Chuck Lilly. Okay. Boy, they had a rough weekend. Look at OU when Cale Gundy. Who cares? Who cares? My guy, who cares? Stop doing this. Stop it. It's not happening. Hey, let's fire Mike Gundy and hire his. Are you out of your mind? It's not happening. Stop. Do you see the path that you go down? And Mike Smith, I called that. People thought I was joking. Ooh, rough weekend for West Virginia. But this is where you're at right now, right? I don't even know that you can be that upset about this. You're a rebuilding program, and you're by design not talented because you shed a bunch of dudes. It's just difficult. You know what I mean? I wouldn't be, I wouldn't be that upset. More Cale Gundy. Okay. Cool. You get Oak State fan, why don't you guys raise the money and hire Cale Gundy? See you never. Two Pants has been a member for 2 months. I appreciate that, Two Pants. Thank you. It's just one of the most ridiculous.
Why?
Stop.
Why have anything to do with the Gundy family, dude? Move on. Get a. I just think that people forget the value of getting a fresh start, man. Get a new name in there, a new energy. Get a different philosophy. Damn.
Shut up. Just the idea that you would hire another Gundy. It tells me you're just myopic and you have no worldly view of what it takes to win football games. With all due respect, and James, you tend to put yourself in these positions by talking about Preston Stone's cock and how great he is, and then what happens?
Stay hard.
He gets run out of Dallas, and then you tell me that Brandon Whedon Incarnate's coming from TCU, and I told you, hey, TCU's not going to let a flamethrower go, even though they have Hoover, and then he, has his leg ripped off by a wild lion in the pack, and you're like, oh well, now Zane Fluorescence, Zane Fluorescence, who's never been a quarterback, but now Monty's got a defensive tack. You say stuff that just it's who you are. Yay. The Big Lubbock. The winner of Texas Tech Utah plays the winner of Iowa State TCU in the championship game. I would completely disagree with that. I think it's a long season. And we're not going to have any idea. The Texas Tech Utah game is a huge game. I think we all agree with that. That the winner of that game does not just get an auto bid to the Big 12 championship. And I'm warning you about Joey McGuire because he's got Oregon State this week. Whittingham's got Wyo this week. Then it's at Utah. And do you understand what the trap game of the century is? Texas Tech at Houston on the, what is that, the 27th, I think. And, or no, they have a bye week, then it's at Houston. So that'd be October 4th. Dude, that's the trap game of the year. Like, and did I mention that you still got to play Kansas at Arizona State? You get a bye week for Oak State, at K-State, BYU, UCF, and at West Virginia. There's a whole horde of losable games on that schedule. And that requires you to beat Utah on the road in Sac Lake City, which I think is going to be very difficult to do. And then if you're Jetta, you're off to this great start, but now you got to go to Wyo, home for Tech, at West Virginia, Arizona State, at BYU, Colorado, Cincinnati, at Baylor, Kansas State, at Kansas. Neither one of these teams is guaranteed a trip.
Nope.
I don't think. Gumby. People thought Backwoods was line stepping.
Habitual.
No, he's pretty right on about West Virginia. Cowpoke is illuminating his for all those to see. I'm here for it. And best thing is he paid to do it. Yeah. And
That's
I
right.
appreciate all the paid comments. Douglas Witt. Hey, Witt. Gundy should be fired already. He should have been fired. He should not have ever been the coach. He shouldn't have been the coach after last season. You go winless in the conference, you don't deserve to be the coach the next year. The offense was way worse than the defense. The whole thing's, Monty, any rim rash on the BMW from Mrs. Monty driving it? No, not so far. I don't really appreciate you speaking that into existence. But, no, she's done all right. So I have a BMW X4M competition. I may have had it in M2 on the freeway on my way back home from Park City yesterday. There are different modes you can put the car in with steering wheel buttons. She won't put it in even M1. She won't. She's like, no, it's plenty fast for me. Okay.
Bruh.
Okay.
Come on.
Okay. It's fine. James, why are you so desperate for comfort when your program is dying? It's dead. I'm not an Oak State fan. Read all of it. I did read all of it. Cale Gundy, OC at OU, 2017 to 21, wide receiver 22, nothing 23 to 25. So you're saying he's not working. I have no idea if he's working or not. That would be, is Cale Gundy not working? Is that what that? Cale Gundy is not working right now. You really want to hire a guy who doesn't have a job? You're telling me you want to hire a guy who doesn't have a job? Bro, what, like, James, thank you, Two Pants. I appreciate that. I'm a terrible person and I should be put down for having mange.
Yeah.
Read all of it. Nothing 23 to 25.
Hey, he read your whole comment.
Gumby, macaque, exactly.
Stay hard.
Macaque.
Exactly.
Macaque.
Douglas Witt, rip the Band-Aid off new coach right now.
Hi, this is James. Welcome back.
I agree. The innovation scandals, never mind. Ron Loney. Wow. Ronald, good to see you. Will West Virginia even win 3 games this year? Johnny Gonzalez. I did not have Cale Gundy on my Monday Monty Show bingo card. And
Apparently,
Oak State James.
Yeah, apparently Oak State James did. So, you need to catch up, bro. Come on.
Speaking of which, What I want is to have a coach who can bring in good players and score a ton of points. So you fucking said Cale Gundy.
The answer is yes.
I want a coach who can bring in good players and score a lot of points. Who should we call? How about Cale Gundy?
Donnie, you're out of your element.
I want who can, and then they will Cale Gundy.
You're the weakest of the weak.
Bro isn't even working right now, and that's who you want to hire. How?
You need to turn the electrode up because whatever you've got that thing set to this is not it. I want a... And the first guy that comes to mind, at least bring me Todd Monken. At least, hey, bro, Brandon Whedon. Okay, I could at least get down with that.
What about Pervin, dude?
Like, what are you doing? Anyway, they have one win. They could get a lucky on a couple, Ron Loney. Let's hope, right? Colonel Ingus. That sounded a lot like another lingus. Less Cale Gundy and more cowbell. How about the Mississippi State Bulldogs? He said less cowbell. And I am really surprised that I'm not that surprised. But this is the argument becomes it's the SEC, and Blake Shapen's a better player at Mississippi State than I ever saw at Baylor. Right? 279 and 3 scores, I believe it was. And your phallic symbol, Sam Levitt, who was supposed to walk away with the Heisman, and he was going to be amazing. And, oh, my God, I've got to have Sam Levitt. He's amazing. I want all of the Heisman Trophy votes to go to Sam Levitt. Oh, my God. He has nothing on Preston Stone.
That's right, T.
Oh, my God. Huh. Funny, I don't think you spell Levitt Matteer. Now, I think Garrett Nussmeier is going to have the best chance to win the Heisman because he's going to be on national TV every week. But I don't think you spell Levitt Dampier.
You know.
And then my guy, Lenoris Sellers. Yeah. Anyway, the point is, I don't see Sam Levitt's name on that list. I could be wrong. Furthermore, for the Helen Keller part of the audience, am I blind or am I not seeing any Big 12 teams in the top 13? And Clemson looked terrible. But Iowa State at 14. Iowa State at 14. And then I feel like you got a pity vote for Texas Tech at 21. Right? Like, this is wild to me.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what the voters are looking at here as far as like Oklahoma's concerned. Oklahoma should be 10 in my opinion. I'm not really sure how you sit there and you beat Michigan the way you did and you just get no love for that. I'm not really sure how that works.
And how is Oklahoma behind Clemson?
Yeah, I think we'd all be taking Oklahoma over Clemson. I would love to see Oklahoma versus Florida State. I think that'd be an incredible matchup. I certainly would be taking Oklahoma over Illinois just on value alone. Illinois is going to have to prove that they can beat some of these better teams because
Illinois, dude, I'm not saying Jeff George is walking through that door. Hey, Oak State, hire Jeff George. I'm not saying Jeff George is walking through that door anytime soon. But I got to tell you, Illinois looks really good right now. And again, it's September 8th. But they look really good. Really, really good.
Yeah. No question about it. And I think that the other one that I sit here and I look at is like, Texas, everyone was like, oh, well, Texas bounced back and Texas this and Texas that. Dude, you were playing nobody, bro. Like, come on.
Yeah, but Arch looked really good. Although now I don't know what to make of this. I want at some point in my life, I want coaches to just tell me what the hell's going on. And this ain't it.
Arch Manning seemed to be having some throwing pains by the
According to
fourth quarter.
who?
Arch?
Arch said that to you?
No.
Oh, according to who?
It just looked like he was.
He doesn't have any.
Is there an explanation to why it looked like that?
I don't know. I've never filmed any of you guys when you're using the bathroom, so I don't know what faces you make when you're doing that.
Hey, man, I never videotape you guys when you're burning a deuce. I mean, I want coaches to tell me the truth. I think Sark just did that. I think Sark made my dreams come true.
Don't lie to me.
I know that Sark is a dream weaver when it comes to football. I don't know where I'm going. My point is, I love that out of Steve Sarkisian because I think it's absolutely right. Right? Like as much as, and you tell me which bite's better.
Yeah, we got to be better. I mean, like I said, our offense in general, too many drops on offense as a group. It was a bad day. I mean, it was
right. Okay, that's awesome. Or
Arch Manning seemed to be having some throwing pains by the
According to
fourth quarter.
who?
Arch?
Arch said that to you?
No.
Oh, according to who?
It just looked like he was.
He doesn't have any.
He doesn't
Damn.
have any. I don't film you taking a dump.
I don't film you in your face when you're trying to squeeze one out because you don't drink any water and you're constipated as hell. Who are you, James?
Dude,
Come on.
It is so good. It is so good. And again, I play Dillingham. And Kenny's my guy. Steve Sarkisian, and then Mike Gundy.
The first thing is when I made that comment, I was complimenting Oregon for what they had done. Right. The second thing is, which I said later in the week, we've made commitments also. All right, but we have to be better and fundamentally sound and execute. That's really what it comes down to. And then, as I said, sometimes you're going to play people that have the ability to run away from you. Okay, well then we got to look at that and see where we're at. But
I don't need to look at the tape, Coach. You're not talented, and you've quit on that team.
Oh.
Do you see the difference? Fathead Gundy.
Dude, play the Dan Lanning pipe, bro.
Or Kenny Dillingham wanting to murder people.
Yeah, we got to be better. I mean, like I said.
We got to be better. Can't drop the football. We got to be better. Can't drop the football.
Yeah, we got to be better. I mean, like I said, our offense in general, too many drops on offense as a group. It was a bad day. I mean, it was a really bad day on offense. And it all stems from passion we play with. Is it okay to not make a play? And if you accept it, then you accept it. And that's who you're going to be. Don't be mad going 5-7. It's okay. Don't be mad going 6-6. Don't be mad going 3-9 because somebody has to go those records. There's going to be tons of teams who do it. Why not us? We didn't practice bad. What I mean by that is we didn't bust. We didn't MA. We threw one pick. We didn't practice bad. We didn't practice with passion. We didn't care if we scored a touchdown. We didn't care if there was an interception, right? We didn't care if somebody made a great play for most of practice. We were just out here practicing. And
dude, listen, I'll pay the airfare. Just fly your ass up to South Bend right now. I'll sharpen the blade. Cut Marcus. He's out. Like that. That's the guy I want coaching my football team. I don't want Mike Gundy. I want Kenny Dillingham. That's what should be coaching your football team. Everybody's team. Kenny Dillingham. It's okay. You want to go 5-7? Don't tackle in practice. Don't be upset when you throw an intercept. Hey man, 5-7 is perfectly good. I thought we wanted to go undefeated and win games. But hey, listen, you guys, hey, Kale Gundy, come on over, dude. These got the 5-7 football team. We got it for you right here. Come on over, Kale. Let's go, buddy. You coordinate the offense. Sam Levitt sucks ass anyway. You guys go ahead.
Well said.
Right? That I need Kenny Dillingham. Like in places I don't want to talk about.
I need a dick and me.
I need Kenny Dillingham. I want Kenny Dillingham. I need more Dill in my life. Okay, too far.
What the fuck are you, Ranger Rick?
Yeah, I could be. I want it. I want
You
want
should.
It all.
You should.
And
you're not going to play my guy.
Ham. I want John Hamm, who's been a member of this show for 12 months. James added a quack quack setting to his toy.
Damn. Bro, are you not going to play the Dan Lanning motivation bite? Come on. You're
I
sitting
don't
here,
want to play the Dan
dude, you're
Lanning
sitting
motivation
here
bite.
glazing a guy who,
No,
you
there
know.
it is.
Yeah.
I apologize. Here's Dan Lanning motivating you.
I told our team right before the game that, you know, it never requires extra motivation for an opportunity to go out and kick ass, but it never hurts when somebody pours gasoline on the fire. So I felt like these guys wanted the chance to go prove who they are. And I'm sure I got a lot of respect for Coach Gundy, but I probably, at his press conference, he's probably saying, "See, I told you so." Right? Like that's probably what his comment is, but that doesn't change the way we have to play to be a winning football team. And we have good players, you know, one of our best. I don't know, Bryce Betcher played good today. You know, he came here for a backpack and a t-shirt. So I'm really proud of those guys on our team that, have developed into great players. Again, the guys that watched other people play last year are now playing for us. Like that's what makes this team great.
Bro.
Okay, Jake, take 60 seconds and glaze your boy. Go ahead.
Yeah, dude. I mean, listen, the biggest thing here is that what did Dan say? Hey, dude, we don't need extra motivation. Hey, dude, like we don't need to necessarily pay players, right? Like he's saying it without saying it. Kids who came here for a backpack and a t-shirt, they came to one of our camps. They came to, they came to get better. Now they're watching guys last year play and get their ass beat by Ohio State in the first round of the CFP. They want to come play for me at Oregon, you know? So, I mean, I think it's pretty straightforward. And to be honest with you guys, like, I just think that Mike Gundy is, I never thought that we would get here. Honestly, I never thought that we would be in a spot where I could sit here on the program and be like, yeah, you know what? Like Mike's probably done, dude. He's probably cooked. He's washed. Whatever, cool kid club terminology you guys want to use. Like, I didn't think it would get here. Like, I thought we would get the Mike Gundy resignation at some point, on his terms. But after the ass kicking that, Dan Lanning and Dante Moore and the guys rolled out to Oklahoma State, my God, dude, like at what point does Mike Gundy have some pride and say, hey man, like, yeah, we're not even close to good. Like we're at a point where it's embarrassing and we as a coaching staff have to fully audit our entire process and figure out like what we're going to do about this. Cause this just isn't good enough. And what you should be saying is I made a mistake by speaking on Dan Lanning's money as far as what he's paying kids, and I should be focused on our program. That's what you should be saying.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I think it's really interesting. Like, are you, how much of a fan, Kenny Dillingham or Dan Lanning?
I mean, I like them both a ton, man. Like, hello? What happened?
It's fucking fixed. Just out of nowhere.
Bro,
so I haven't been able to hear Jake in my headphones the entire show. I want you to understand that.
Bro.
I have to go handle something outside the studio.
Yeah, I got to handle something.
Oh, stay hard. And I can hear.
Macaque.
See, this is just you guys don't understand the life I live.
Hold on. We're going into full meltdown mode for like 20 minutes before the show. Why doesn't this work? Are you sure your settings are correct? What the hell? And now all of a sudden it just randomly turns back on, dude.
It just turns back on rando style. And I don't even know. Like, and I hope
shit's going good.
Yeah, it's going good. I can hear drops of that.
I mean, I don't even know, like,
yay.
That's when I didn't need to hear. I don't understand it, man. I want to understand it, and I.
Well, welcome back to the program, dude. It's good to have you back. That's great. Hey, maybe you need to go, quote, handle something more often.
Yeah, maybe.
Macaque.
I don't know. What about Jim Knowles as a head? Okay, guy, you told me you wanted somebody who could score points. So you're going with a defensive coordinator and Holgerson as his old seat. What is Dana?
Garbo, dude. Garbo.
Yeah, we're not making any changes.
I don't know how to fix you. I really don't. I need the stupid song like the try to fix you. I can't remember the name of the band with Chris Martin as the lead singer, whatever it's called.
Coldplay?
Coldplay. Thank you. I need Coldplay where people are getting caught, smashing. When you want to hire Jim Knowles and Dana Holgerson,
I can't help you, dude.
James, I think, honest to God, you need help. Get help. How does that fix anything? How does that fix anything?
Okay, next comment right here at the bottom. The most recent comment.
I'm in paid, so hang on. I'm trying to think outside the box. That's outside the box? Wait, no. How about Ben Johnson from the Bears? Oh, man, dude, he's not coming to Oak State. That's outside the box. How about, James, you go be the head coach?
I knew today would be shitty.
You'd be better than Gundy. But, no, outside the box is not a defensive. You said, I want a guy who can score points and bring guys in. That's Jim Knowles? No, you need to find who is the best. If I said to you, who's the best offensive coach in college football? That's your guy. That's your guy. That's your guy. Who's the best offensive coach in college football? And have your pick. Call him. Oh, Monty, he's not coming. I don't care. Call him. Call Lincoln Riley at USC. You see, he's got a little quarterback thing happening over there now.
He broke up with you over text message?
I don't know. I don't know what it is about. And James, I'm not specifically picking on you.
Dude, he doesn't think you're picking on him. He thinks you're glossing him right now. Look at his comment. Look at this. Look at what he's spinning this into.
Wow. He just said that I know more about football than Coach Gundy. He's a fucking idiot. He's not. Oh my God.
Bro,
I don't have the bandwidth
Hey, look here, man.
to try and fix your brain. That was not a compliment. That was not a compliment. And if you want to get outside the box and you want to go hire, who's the best offensive coach in college football? Steve Sarkisian? Call him. He ain't coming. Call him.
We come.
Call him. Right? You want to go try and hire Josh Heupel? He ain't coming. Call him. You go find the best. Go call. Who's a great offensive? Go call Garrett Riley. Go call somebody.
Fucking Cole Beasley.
Call him. But please do not come in here and say, oh, I'm just trying to think outside the box. Let me hire the exact antithesis of what this team needs.
Please.
Like, what are you talking about? Right? Like, I literally don't know how to fix that. I have no idea how to fix that. And, yeah, there you go. Oak State James wants Jim Knowles as the
Okay, that's enough. Stop, please.
That's it. That's amazing. That's something that I never thought I would. I never thought I would.
Yeah,
hear.
that's wild, dude.
If you think about, like, I'm genuinely trying to find a note I took about 3 weeks ago about the best head coaches in college football. None of them would take the job. Who's taking that job? Who is the Oak State job? Is Scott Frost leaving UCF for Oak State?
God, do you want Scott Frost at all, though?
No, but I'm trying to think of other Big 12 coaches who would leave their would Andy Kotelnicki leave Penn State to go to Oak State as the head coach? No, absolutely not. No, he would not. Like, I'm trying to think if we
Billy Napier.
But I'm like, what about like a Buster Faulkner? Is Buster leaving Georgia Tech? No.
What about
Will Stein at Oregon? Is Will Stein leaving Oregon to go be the head coach at Oak State?
No.
He's not doing that. You're not doing that, right? If I look at offensive coordinators, like if I had to think who's the number, it's Will Stein is pretty well, and we saw it this weekend. Sorry to tell you. But you saw it this week. Will Stein's probably the most highly thought of and sought after offensive mind in college football.
Sign Steeler guy.
I would think, right? Like if we go through the machinations of it, like he's I think he played for Jeff Brom. Like you start thinking of, okay, well, if we're going through the mindset here, he is a Jeff Brom, Bobby Petrino, like influenced guy. He's not coming to you. Is Mike Denbrock leaving Notre Dame as the offensive coordinator? Because he's probably the second most. He'll get a job if he wants one, right? I would think. But is there anybody who believes that Mike Denbrock he's going to leave Notre Dame to go to Stillwater? I have a problem with that. What's his name at Miami? Shannon Dawson. Is Shannon Dawson going to leave and risk his legacy with Cam Ward? And is he doing that? I have trouble with that. I have trouble with that, right? Like, I just don't see any way. I don't see any way that works. There's no way. But Garrett Riley at Clemson, Garrett Riley leaving Clemson to go be the head coach at Oak State, that feels like maybe that's the right thing to do. Yes. Andy Kotelnicki won't even pick up the phone with a Stillwater area code on it to leave Penn State. I would agree with that. That's exactly right. You're probably more in like the Marcus Arroyo, Buster Faulkner, maybe. I don't even know who else. I mean, maybe what's his name at Baylor, whose name I can never remember. Spavital. Maybe Spavital takes that job.
The Wolf of Wall Street.
Right? But the problem is Oak State is not an attractive job. It's not a good job. Right? It's not a good job. And I think, again, the guy that probably is the best fit of all the guys I just mentioned is probably Garrett Riley. But is Garrett Riley leaving Dabo to go to one of the worst situations in college football? You're going from the top team in the ACC, arguably, to the worst program in the Big 12. You're the worst football program. You understand that. Oak State's the worst football program in the Big 12. I don't know. Maybe, and again, I think Spavital's interesting because he needs another shot. Right? I mean,
yeah. I mean, it's really dealer's choice at that point, though, right? I mean, if you're Garrett Riley, you got to decide what path you want to take. I mean, do you want to continue to be a coordinator and contend for natties, or do you want to be a head coach and go to, obviously a bad program? I mean, that's just a decision you got to make. So, look at the success Kenny Dillingham has had. Now, obviously, Kenny is a small sample size, one guy, really special individual, really talented. Okay, maybe that's not a great example, but look at what Jed Fish is going through with
oh my God,
with that whole situation in Washington. So, I just think that it's very much this conversation is much bigger than Gundy now. I think that if they don't fire him in the next, I'd already fired him. I'm going to be honest.
Hour.
Yeah. If you don't fire him ASAP, I just don't know what you're doing. I don't know. I have no idea.
I agree. I don't know. Why would you even hang on to him? Billy Napier might be looking for a job soon. So there's that.
Well,
there's that. Yeah. Yeah. Texas State. Thank you. Made his name off Johnny Manziel. Oh, Jamie Chadwell. You want to talk about somebody who knows how to build a program? Liberty, right? Jamie Chadwell. That's a dude who knows how to stop. Johnny, don't even say those three names together. That's, Jason Garrett. Okay. Wasikowski. Was the ass whooping that bad? Yes, it was. I think you have a systematic problem at Michigan, and I think you have to really seriously take into account Sherrone Moore is not your guy. It's time to start doing the calculus on that. Is Sherrone Moore the right guy to lead Michigan forward?
Yeah, what's his buyout? Should we give him the Kalen DeBoer treatment?
Jake, you joke. You joke. But you look at Michigan, when you have players fighting on the sideline, particularly your 18-year-old highly paid quarterback fighting with one of the leaders of that team, I think you're in real trouble. And Justice Haynes is not somebody that, hey, we're all fired up about, and he's the next vacuum salesman. I totally get that. You can't get into a fight with Justice Haynes on the sideline. You're an 18-year-old quarterback who can't read a defense and doesn't know where to throw the football. That's not going to work. And I think it is without question. And again, this is probably just my opinion, but I think it is without question. Michigan is at a real tipping point because Sherrone Moore is not that guy. You went to Oklahoma and you got physically beat. And you got beat because your quarterback doesn't know where to throw the ball and your play calling was garbo. No other way to spin this. You cannot. I don't even know that you can spin it well. And you're in the exact opposite situation at Michigan than you are at Oak State. Michigan, the minute they fire Sherrone Moore, will have the pick of the litter. You can go and get any coach that you want. That's a job. That's the University of Michigan. That's the Wolverines. That's the wings on the helmet. That's the whole damn thing.
It's all the cheating and the oppression of civil rights and, that whole thing. Yeah.
I think that is the problem. Is it looks like you are lawless right now. That's a players program where I just think you're in real trouble. No, you can't. Stop.
Cocaine is really powerful, Eric, and I can appreciate that.
You cannot. Steve Sarkisian's not leaving Texas to go to that hellhole. That's not happening. That he is right now got the best coaching staff in the country. He's got one of the best recruiting classes, and this is my point. Because Wass likes to come in here and be like, 2026, we're the best. Look at all the kids.
Well, what happened to the Underwood is the best quarterback in college football? You remember all that?
No, my point is you have all these great recruiting classes and 2 years of nothing. Sherrone Moore. Oh, my God. 2 years of
doesn't get any more red, white, and blue than that.
Don't know where to throw the ball.
Sign Steeler guy.
Meantime, that team down the road, go ahead and say it. The ones in Columbus where Julian Sayin actually, dare I say, beat Texas and now looks like a cat who loves throwing the football and knows exactly where to throw it and knows how to look off a defense. The problem at Michigan is you have really bad culture and nobody that builds culture because Sherrone Moore ain't that dude. Ain't that dude. And now all of a sudden, interestingly enough, the scumbag losing cheaters get blown out and really get your ass kicked in Norman. And all of a sudden, oh, well, you know what? Sherrone can coach at practice during his suspension. Oh, now we've changed up the rules of the suspension.
We've moved the measuring stick.
You guys are a mess. And Michigan is, in my opinion, Michigan is in a very bad spot because I think for everything that Sherrone Moore is not as a head coach, he's taken a lot of beating over this cheating scandal. And if you fire him, he will not, I don't believe he'll ever get another head coaching job. I think he'll be out of work for several years, and then he will, once his show cause expires, he will get an OC job. He'll never be a head coach again. And I think Michigan is way too loyal to people. If Alabama were to fire Kalen DeBoer, that would be dumb, but I would take him at Oak State in a heartbeat. He ain't taking that job. You don't go from Washington, where you played for a national championship, to Alabama to Oak State. That's called
regression.
Huge. Sark don't want no Michigan. No, not a chance. Is Florida a premium job? I believe it is.
It is.
Billy Napier.
I just have one question, dude. What are we doing? What are we doing?
I know what the question you're going to ask is. How do I do it? How do I get it right every time?
What is it this time?
Billy Napier. How many years have I been telling you Billy Napier ain't that dude?
Yeah, I mean, this is something we agree on for sure. I mean, I just don't know how they looked at the lack of performance last year and we're like, oh yeah, wow, Billy's going to turn it around this year. Yeah, that looked really good against USF. Man, that was just some kind of SEC beatdown, dude. Come on, bro.
It's not good. It's not good. And
you're just not what they need. That's the difference. He's not what they need.
I would rather, right now, today, I'd rather take the Florida job than the Michigan job just because there's less sinkholes to navigate.
Mm-hmm.
There's less rebuilding to do. You put in the right guy at Florida, you can recruit instantly.
Yes.
Billy Napier ain't that dude. He ain't that dude, you know. And it's unfortunate. But I think you have to start looking at offensive minds. Those are the guys. You need the best offensive mind as your head coach who has really good relationships and can hire a really good defensive guy. And you have that at Michigan with Wink Martindale because he showed you with a wildly untalented defensive group because they can't. When did Michigan get slow? That's the thing that I'm struggling with. Michigan looks slow. Like they look like they were running in quicksand the other night. So I start thinking to myself, okay, well, who did I want the Bears to hire? Ben Johnson won, but do you guys remember who my number 2 was? Cliffy. If I were Notre Dame, and this is, I put Notre Dame in every light of these conversations because I'm a huge Notre Dame fan. I know you guys think I'm fat, dead, old Mormon who's going to die soon.
Which is an SEC show.
Sort of. I would hire Cliff Kingsbury today to replace Marcus Freeman today, right now. Absolutely. CJ Carr's a better quarterback the minute that happens. If I were Florida, yeah, I would fire Billy Napier and go hire Cliff Kingsbury. And I would tell him your only job is to find me somebody who can stay healthy at the quarterback position and be one of the best offenses in the country. I don't care if we give up 100 as long as we score 101. And then promptly, if I were Cliff Kingsbury, I would immediately copy what Prime did at Colorado. Give me a bunch of NFL dudes. I'm hiring J.J. Watt. Because somebody's going to hire J.J. Watt to come and mentor people at their university, and he is going to kick ass at it because he knows how to make people better. And if I If I had any pull at any university of note, Cliff Kingsbury would be my first, second, and probably fifth call. I'd hire him. And I would hire Garrett Riley to be my offensive coordinator, and I would go find the meanest SOB to be my defensive coordinator I could find. And that's just the way it is. And it's not the problem is at places like Michigan, and this is Dabo's problem at Clemson. Dabo's got a veteran roster, and they're not good.
Mm-hmm.
They're not national championship good. Like Michigan's got a bunch of teenagers, but you're Michigan. You can't have this problem. Right?
Yeah, here we are.
What did we look at with Oklahoma? And this is what the narrative was in my head. Oklahoma is where Michigan should be. Really good veteran quarterback. And everybody's like, oh, Bryce Underwood, highly paid. Show me the national championship contender who's got an 18-year-old kid that's one of the highest paid kids in college football. No, that's right. That doesn't exist. Does not exist. And why doesn't it exist? Because those guys don't win. Those guys don't win. And you look at the best team in the country, go ahead and say it, Michigan fan. It's Ohio State. Julian Sain's not one of the highest paid kids, and he's not an 18-year-old. He's been in the program for multiple years. I look at Miami. Carson Beck's not an 18-year-old freshman. You look at any, and again, if I look at my power rankings right now today, I would probably have Ohio State 1, Texas probably 2 still. Texas.
Ohio State.
I would have LSU 3. I would probably not fight you over 4 down. Those are the 3 best teams in the country, and what do they all have in common? Veteran quarterbacks who've been in the system multiple years.
Florida State's got to be there.
I'm not ready yet. I know I'm probably being a red ass. I'm not ready yet. I look at Florida State, and God, I feel like such a jerk off saying this.
I prayed for moments like that.
Was that Florida State or was that Alabama?
I need to catch the damn ball.
I think that was Florida State, but Alabama was trash in that game.
Alabama looked really bad. Alabama looked.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose it's not an unfair question. I guess we'll find out, right?
And I understand, dude. Ty Simpson, congratulations on throwing the ball all over the field against, who was it this weekend? UL Monroe. Congratulations. Means absolutely nothing. Nothing. Because now you got to go and you got to beat Wisconsin. And I think Florida State's very good. They're not, but I don't think anybody is even in the zip code of Ohio State, Texas, and LSU. I've seen a lot.
Man, you really think LSU's on the same level as Texas and Ohio State?
Yes, I do.
Mm.
Yes, I do. And I look at a couple of things, and I think that they have, and I don't even know, again, I feel like such a jerk off when I say this. Brian Kelly's made some really good decisions. Now, it's not bowl season, and there's not a national championship on the line, so I'm not really that surprised.
Google me.
But if I look at, just rank the head coaches. Ryan
Day's 1. Sark's 2.
Sark's 2. Who's the 3rd best coach in the country? Probably Kirby Smart.
And
then Brian Kelly.
Man, I don't know, bro. I don't know.
Brian Kelly, or who else would be in this conversation?
Mike Norvell.
Brian Kelly. Mike Norvell has no pedigree. See, the problem is Brian Kelly's been there. He's done that. He's felt this. There's nothing that can happen that he can't do. Worry about Brian Kelly being a shitbag in the playoffs, because that's when it comes out. Right? Like
Here I am.
I'm a Notre Dame fan. Trust me, I've been there. Right?
Buddy was buddy tonight.
If I look at Ryan Day's the best coach in the country.
Dan Lanning.
Dan Lanning's got no pedigree. And what happened in the playoffs last year? His team was not ready. And I don't care if it was a bye week. His team was not ready. Top 5? Sure. I mean, if I had to rank them right now.
Ryan Day is clearly everybody's one.
Ryan Day is number 1.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sark is 2.
Yeah.
Kirby's 3. BK's 4th. I mean, after that, Dan Lanning, 5. And then it's like this big toss-up of, I mean, I hate to say it, but Captain Sexual Assaulter and Happy Ending.
I knew it. I knew it.
I mean, he's top 10.
Goes to the playoff with regularity. He has to be in that conversation.
Now, not trying to be a jerk, but Pedo, did Drew Aller forget how to quarterback a football team?
Yes.
Did you guys see that?
Hot ass.
No, I'm being serious. Did you guys see? And again, I try not to pay attention to those that facilitate sexual assault against children. But I'm looking at Penn State this weekend. I'm like, bro, this is Florida International.
Not Florida. Not Florida State. Not University of South Florida. No. This is Florida International.
Not Florida Atlantic basketball.
Right.
This is the Panthers of Florida International. And you threw for 200 yards on 33 opportunities, and you average 6.1 yards an attempt. And wait, listen, I know I'm not that smart, but isn't 209 yards more than 200 yards?
Present.
So it's Florida International, and you ran for more yards than you threw for. And your in-game QBR was as low as 36 and never got above a 62 and landed on a 57. Huh. That's not good. That's not good. And it's why I can't consistently put Pedo State up there at the top. But anyway, all of this to say, listen, I think LSU's the 3rd best team in the country, and it's close. You put LSU, Texas, and Ohio State on a field, and they're all naked, you don't know who's who. It's probably it's probably too much. Stay
hard.
Macaque.
Okay. David Floyd. Dumb question. There's not dumb questions. There's just dumb people. What are the top 5? Top 5 jobs in the Big 12. Oh, Jesus. Wow. You guys are just going to choose violence with this stuff today.
It is what it is.
Top 5 jobs in the Big 12.
Not top 5 best teams. And don't confuse the two. What is the best job in the Big 12? Damn.
Texas Tech. Texas Tech. I think. See, why? If not for the Mormons, BYU would be the best job in the conference. But the church, Temple Recommend, Honor Code, all this stuff.
Baggage.
BYU would be the best job in the conference. I think the single best job is Texas Tech based on money alone. You're in the state of Texas. You've got all the money in the world. Go get some dudes. And you did. Why Joey McGuire's your head coach? Utah is the second best job. I think TCU is the third best job. And then I think it's really close. Iowa State. Problem at Iowa State is you're in a really difficult market to recruit into.
Yeah, I don't, with all due respect to the job Matt Campbell's doing, I don't think Iowa State's top 5. I would much rather be in Tempe than in Ames.
That's exactly what I was going to say. I think Texas Tech, Utah, TCU. Arizona State. God, that's tough, dude.
And Colorado's a good job.
I'm debating Colorado or Kansas State because Kansas State has all of the resources and assets you need to win. But I think Kansas is a better job than Kansas State.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys, we're splitting hairs here. I would probably say it should be Baylor. You know what I'm pissed off about? It should be Baylor. It should be Baylor. But Baylor won't do what needs to be done, so it's not Baylor. It's Colorado.
That's what fucking ticks me the fuck off.
Because you have everything you need, and you won't do the job at Baylor.
I think
do it.
I gotta say, I think that if you look at the package that UCF is offering, I think UCF's borderline more attractive than Baylor. Honestly, I mean, you're in Florida. You know, if they decided to move money, into NIL and portal based on who they hired.
Do you guys understand? Do you understand just how much talent is in Florida for football?
Yeah, dude.
Do you understand how good of a job the Miami job is? But for the politics. Okay. Do you understand how good the Florida job is and why guys like Dan Mullen and Billy Napier, what makes the Florida job rough is they hire bad coaches.
Yep.
So you knock that job out of the box. Then you say to yourself, hey, you understand how good the Florida State job is? Do you understand that that's why UCF is a good job? Because if you can recruit and your name's not Scott Frost and you can actually coach football, the UCF job would be one of the best jobs in the conference. And it wouldn't even be close. Yet it's not. And that's why, with Colorado's a good job. People like to go to school there because it's an excellent education and it's a great student experience. You have money, you have a phenomenal administration, a really good stadium. And the only reason it's not higher than 5 in the conference is because it's cold. It's cold weather. And it's what makes Kyle Whittingham such an unbelievable dude, because he doesn't care if it's cold. He's going to put you in the NFL.
Yeah.
And now Deion's built this NFL culture at Colorado.
Dude, how about what he did with the quarterbacks, though? Third stringer in there. Let's go.
But now he's got to win.
Mm-hmm. And they did.
No, they haven't. He's got to go to the college football playoff.
Well,
you have to. Because I agree. What Deion did with the quarterbacks is what every coach should be doing with quarterbacks. I think when you look at Colorado, and now everybody's going to tell you, hey, Colorado's got a quarterback controversy. They don't, because what did I tell you 2 weeks about Caden Salter? They're not undefeated right now because of Caden Salter.
Caden Salter made that drama.
It is his fault that Juju even got an opportunity. And Juju's not ready. 18-year-old kid, highest paid quarterback in the world. Deion's not playing him because he's not ready. And remember his coaching staff at Colorado. He's got dudes all over the place in Boulder that have been in the NFL. When he says a quarterback's not ready, he's not ready. In steps the third stringer who's been there 2 years and throws them to a victory. And I think is probably going to be the starter next week.
He should be. How is he not?
But so when we talk about, hey, best jobs, he's got the freedom and autonomy to do whatever he wants. Do you think Joey McGuire gets phone calls when he makes coaching decisions? I goddamn bet he does. I bet he does. And so when we talk about, to answer your question, David, and see, this is why it's not a dumb question. You're just a dumb guy. Kidding. Relax.
Texas me.
Texas Tech is number 1. Utah's number 2. And I think after that, it's really, really tough. I think it's TCU 3. Arizona State 4 and Colorado 5. I can't make a case for K-State right now. West Virginia, Oak State, come on, seriously.
I do think the best shoe-in school is Kansas. I think you look at the philosophy change, you're doing your stadium now, you're clearly putting money into it. They're heading the right direction from a philosophical standpoint, which is what I think plays into this.
Let's go Oak State, James, and get stupid about it. How long until Houston's in this discussion?
Long time.
No, I don't think so. You really think it's a long time?
Yeah, I think it's a long. I think they won't be in the discussion before the new entity is formed. I think it'll be that long. I just don't think they're there.
Ooh, really?
Yeah.
I think, you know what I think the biggest issue is on some of it? I think the biggest issue is the oil industry is struggling right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Houston's got a lot of oil money.
Who gets there first, Houston or Cincinnati?
Houston.
Yeah.
There's too much talent in Texas. It doesn't.
I just don't think Scott's going to be there much longer, man. They're just not. It's not going.
I think Cincinnati is struggling. I would agree with that. The best school in Colorado is the Colorado School of Mines. Yeah. I don't mind. Hello? Did we die? Wow, we are fully locked up right now. Okay. The School of Mines. Oh, there we go. What if Oak State hired Pat
Do
you need to go to bed? Honest to God, like,
you have to be nice to stupid people.
I can't help. Okay.
You fucking donkey.
Colorado did the right thing by putting in the third stringer. He'll be the starter next week. He earned it. Disdained Rogue. Don't disappoint me. That name is phenomenal. Don't disappoint me. Florida should look around at some of their high school coaches, in my opinion. Okay. Pull in a coach from a prominent high school program. That very rarely works.
See Joey McGuire.
You need that high school head coach to come and be a position coach and then be a coordinator. You know, Douglas Witt, like the list, Monty. Thanks, Doug.
Hey, Monty.
Oh, boy. Oak State James. TCU did a fantastic job with their new football.
Shut the fuck up, Donnie.
Dude. And now he's doubled down talking about Houston. Come on, dude. This isn't an IPF conversation, bro.
Some guys just will never understand.
Well, Monty, facilities really matter in quality of job. I mean, ever since I got the electrode thing, my thoughts have been really clear. The clarity that I've gotten from that is really quite dramatic.
I never thought I'd think about my butthole this much, Monty. James has an electrode placed up in the rectory, and he's got a button to
the biggest load that we've seen.
In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, brother. Monty, I need help with a prop bet. Oh my God, your boy. You want to
length and girth?
I can tell you about making $1,000 on prize.
Didn't have any problems on Prize Picks now, did we?
Oh, football is back on Prize Picks, you guys, and I am telling you right now, there's a Caleb Williams discount tonight.
Is it how long is his head going to be on his mom's titties, or what are we looking at?
I pray for moments like that.
You don't have an NFL team that you're a fan of. I do, and I'm all in. And you want to talk about people's titties? Okay.
I'm all, bro. Dude, we haven't even gotten to the game last night. Notice you've been deflecting your Josh Allen conversation after last night.
Shut your mouth. Shit.
Fuck you. Fuck you.
Caleb Williams for 183.5. Absolutely right. And then there's a couple. I think you have to think that JJ's going to play better, right? It's his hometown. Free Harbaugh's from the western suburbs. I want to take Justin Jefferson for a touchdown. And then the question becomes, what's your third pick there? Because DeAndre Swift is 53.5 rushing yards.
Cairo Santos, field goal made.
Shut up with your stupid kicker take. There are no stupid prize picks. There's just stupid prize pickers. You're such a jerk. I think that's an interesting pick, though. I don't actually think you're wrong. I like insulting you. I think if you look at the kickers, longest field goal made in yards could be interesting.
What does that look like?
Looks like who makes the longest in the field goals and stuff. I'm trying to find the kicker category. Sacks taken, quarters with 1+ reception, longest rush. I can't find the kickers in this game tonight. Okay.
Field goals made.
I only see that in combo, but I could be wrong. I think we go. It's either pass attempts or longest field goal made combo between Will Reichert and Cairo Santos, 50.5 yards. That could be interesting. But if I look at,
I like the. Do you see this other combo? I didn't know they did this. So Cairo Santos and Will Ricard, for total yards kicked together, 147.5. That's a wild number, dude. That's a lot of field goal kicking.
That's a lot. I don't love that.
That might be an easy win on less.
I don't think so. I think I like your field goals made. I think with Cairo Santos, kicking points 6.5. What do you think of kicking points 6.5?
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind that for Santos.
That's 3 field goals or 2 field goals and an extra point. I mean, I don't necessarily understand.
Let's hold on. Before we get crazy with the kickers, what about running? Because obviously did you see all this reporting about the field surface at Soldier Field, how bad it is? And
yes.
So this is probably a game where there's going to be more running, I would think, right? I mean, is that do we feel differently about that?
I think there's going to be a lot more passing. That's just my opinion. I think, I don't want to take a goblin. I'm going to go Cairo Santos for 1 field goal. Here's what I got tonight. Cairo Santos, 1 field goal. Caleb Williams, 183.5 yards. Because I think that's a really strong number. I like that a lot. And then I've got Justin Jefferson for a touchdown. That's on a demon. So
yeah, I'm going to go Cairo Santos, more than half field goal made.
Okay.
So basically 1 field goal.
Yep.
The Caleb discount, more than 183.5.
Yes.
And I'm going to take less on JJ at 217.5 passing yards.
God, that's the one I almost took. So one of us is going to be right and one of us is going to be you.
Yeah.
So we'll have to see how that plays. But you guys, I'm telling you.
Did you see what he did there? You see what he did there? One of us is going to be right and one of us is going to be you, inferring that I was going to be wrong. That's not very nice.
Okay. Dude.
Monty.
Okay, you guys, I never talk about my money or my business, but Jake, I have a big surprise for you.
Okay.
A business associate of ours sends me an email.
Uh-huh. I know nothing about this, just for the record.
Jake has never heard of this.
Yeah, I don't know what he's talking about.
We're getting a payment for AI. Remember, so Jake and I did a big project, and this is really shocking to me. I want people to understand.
You're serious?
Your content made $10,000 in AI. If correct, I believe that you guys will be getting 4 payments of $10,000.
What?
I don't know how to explain it. I don't know how to explain it. I don't know. Do you guys, the frustration of this is unbelievable.
This is incredible. Okay, well, you need to explain this just a little more. Leave out the important stuff, but like just explain this a little bit.
AI companies take video and they take that video and they train AI systems with it. So one of the things that we've done and been able to do through some business associates is take video of our show. And I get requests for this every week, right? But we've taken AI video of our show and given it to a distributor who sold it to AI companies. And we haven't heard anything for 6 months. And we thought we got hosed on it or whatever happened. Just got an email. And that's unbelievable. That's
I mean, that I can't express the. So you know, we do the show, you know, all the work that goes in the show, you know, and you know, you try to get more distribution, you try all these different things to grow the show and grow the product, you know, and do all these different things, right? And through that process, like, you face challenges, there's a lot of different, you know, just things that you go through. And I'll be honest with you guys, like this, like, it might sound easy, right? Like, oh, just give them access to your YouTube channel and they can do that. That's absolutely not what we had to do to accomplish this goal. This process, just small insight. Like, you not only have to organize your entire portfolio of every show that we've ever done, and you then have to
time and money we had to spend to do that.
Yeah, you then have to give them access to it. So you have the cost for storage, you have the cost for the time that it takes to upload it all, because you have to download it, then upload it. Fortunately, I have everything on a hard drive, so I skipped the download part and just did the upload part, which is great. So it just takes a lot of time, and we had thought that this just disappeared. I mean, I got to be honest, I hadn't thought about this opportunity in I don't know how long.
Months.
So I mean, the idea that, I mean, honestly, like, this couldn't come at a better time. I mean, this is like for a number of reasons, this couldn't come at a better time. So
yeah, I am amazed by this, you guys. Like, it is crazy that this opportunity has come up. I would never have, like, see, you work hard and good things happen.
Yeah.
You work hard and good things happen, and it is amazing to me. Oh, it'll all make sense. YouTube will try to get you to buy options to help you get higher on search lists and improve algorithms. Yeah, maybe we won't. The AI business rep also happens to be a Nigerian prince with baking issues. That's what we thought, right? Growth greater than length and girth. No kidding. No, Mike, the AI business rep is K.O. Gundy. Exactly right.
Length and girth.
That's a pretty good breaking news story on the show.
I prayed for moments like that.
Dude, I mean,
it's like,
I can't tell you, like, it is, and it's not even, I want to say this too. It's not even about, dude, it's not even about, like, just the amount. Like,
no.
The amount is the amount, and you learn to You know, you just learn to be cool with that. Whether that's $1 or $1 million, you just learn to be okay with it. Like, hey, it is what it is. But the idea that, like, because until 5 minutes ago, until you just said this, because again, I had no idea about this before the show. You know, you do all the work, and then it's like, all right, cool. Here's the bird. Never hearing from anybody again.
And it happens constantly.
And it happens all the time. I mean, this is probably. I mean, we're probably not just AI stuff, like different types of opportunities and stuff. Like, we're probably 6-7 different opportunities deep at least, and nothing.
It's so funny how frustrating it has been.
Yeah.
It's been really, really frustrating.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's great. Okay. You know, it's fine. Good YouTube channel. Matt Armstrong works on cars. Started off working at an Indian restaurant, working on cars in the parking lot. Now killing it, and has a motto: HWBT. Hard work beats talent. Yes, it does every single time. Because most of the time, talent doesn't work hard. Roquette. What's up, Roche? Good to see you, buddy. I can't even figure out how to verify my business on Google. I sent my license, insurance, website, social, and they still rejected me.
Bro, I'm going to be honest. I'm going to be really honest with you guys. If I was starting a business that had a physical location, I would not try to get verified on Google and do all these different things. I would hire a content creator to put out content on social media and on YouTube, and I guarantee you through that you would bring in more business than you would trying to get verified on all the different platforms, you know? All cuz think about it. How many times, bro? How many times do you flip through TikTok or Instagram or whatever, and you just happen to run into something? How many, like, in, again, when you're making content, like, you guys come to this show, you know, you guys come to this show for a certain reputation and a certain style of talk, and some of you love to get advice from us or things like that. Imagine if you were a mechanic or whatever kind of business you're starting, Roche, and you had content. People would go to you for that, especially if they knew where you were.
Yeah, I can't even tell you how surprising it is. It's
shocking. It couldn't be more surprising.
Shocking. It makes no sense. It does not line up. It does not add up. We haven't thought about this AI project in 6 months.
I just wrote it off. I was like, all right, we're not getting anything from that. It's over.
Yeah, I absolutely wrote it off. And yeah, Big Blue Horses, does the AI guy sell vacuums or steal signs? He does. He does.
Both.
Like button casual. Hello. Yeah, let's get into the NFL. Vikings, Bears. You know what, Was, I actually think this is going to be, you're going to have a good night, because I think, you know, McCarthy is interesting in that he's from Illinois. He's from, you know, the western suburbs of Chicago. And my guess is he'll play better this week. I would expect him to play better. Jalen Johnson's out for the Bears. Vikings are 1.5 in this game. I don't know that the line means anything, frankly. I think when you look at the way the Bears have played in the preseason, I expect the offense with Ben Johnson to be significantly better. I think it will be significantly better. I do not believe that this is going to be a blowout any way, shape, or form. I think this is going to be a thing where guys, they're going to run the football on both sides of it. I don't know what the truth is about the turf at Soldier Field. I really have no idea.
The issue, allegedly, based on the video that's been coming out, is this was much what we saw at the 49ers stadium, and this happened several years ago at Oracle Park for the Giants, where they had a bunch of, and it happens at Wrigley too. I remember talking about with Wrigley. They had a bunch of concerts. The number is allegedly 5 concerts back to back, and there's literally video on X right now of them trying to, like, basically cinch up the seams between the different layers of sod. Yeah. And so I don't know, man, it looks rough. Like, it's not grown in. It's a patch job, to say the least. Would not at all be surprised if, I mean, it's like if you think about, you know, like in golf, as an example, when there's rough patches, like, it just comes up more easily. It's just not as quality of a surface. So I honestly think it'll have an effect, but I'm just not quite sure which way it'll go, because we saw in the Chiefs-Chargers game in Brazil, that surface was terrible, as we thought it would be. It was super slippery.
It was soaked.
Yeah. Look at this. Look at that.
Is that it? Yeah. I mean, it does not look great. And the thing that worries you the most here is that there's not going to be a way to fix it. There's not a
No, this isn't a pitching mound, bro. Like
no, this is
it's got to grow in.
You're not going to be able to go out there and somehow all of a sudden and there's supposedly where the sprinkler caps are, the grass, there's just issues all over the place. And I think it's going to be really tough to figure it out. And you really just hope that nobody gets hurt on it. It's not the kind of grass where you get hurt. It is a natural grass. It is soft. Yeah. And you just hope that it's fine. They've allegedly laid off of it pretty significantly to try and lessen the damage that it could cause. It's completely new sod though. So there's no way to feel good about it. And I'm just looking at some of the video and the pictures on the field. It does not look good, to say the least. So we'll see. I think, I hate to say, I hope this unfortunately. So there you have it. That's what the field looks like. I think it's going to be a very close game. My guess is that this comes down to a turnover. And if that's the case, if I'm right about that, I would probably favor the Bears by a field goal. Just because I think JJ's been so turnover prone in the preseason. I don't have a feeling on it either way. I think it's going to be a close game. I mean, it would surprise me if the total went over 40 points here. It would surprise. This is a 21-17 kind of game.
Yeah, I see it differently. I think JJ is going to get exposed in this game. I think that he's going to have 2-3 turnovers in this game, picks or fumbles, depending on what kind of pressure the Bears roll out. I think that the Bears are still dialing in the offense, obviously, but obviously this is also a home game for them, so I would expect them to play well. I would expect them to be prepared, and I would expect a whole hell of a lot of Colston Loveland. I would expect a whole hell of a lot of 15-yard passing, moving the football, good pace. Would not be surprised with a quicker pace to start the game for the Bears offense at all. So to me, I mean, I'm not saying that this is some kind of multi-possession win for the Bears, but what I am saying is that I think the Vikings are the team that struggles to score 20, not the Bears.
Yeah, I mean, I just think Justin Jefferson's too good. And the Bears, I mean, with Caleb, he clearly is one of the guys you're going to pay attention to in this game. I mean, I think the Bears schematics are going to make it very difficult for that Vikings secondary. I mean, what about Braxton Jones at left tackle?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that Vikings defense is very good. And I just think that Aaron Jones typically plays very well against the Bears. I don't have a feeling on the game one way or the other. I mean, it would not surprise me if it went one. I just don't see it that there's enough measurable distance between the two rosters.
Yeah.
If I had to guess, I would probably lean Vikings just because I think their defense is better than
come on, dude.
I'm not even being sensational. I think the Vikings defense is better. They're going to run the football a lot. The Vikings are. They're going to be very careful with JJ. But looking at some of these numbers and you come up on what this game means, it does not mean a whole lot one way or the other. It'd be nice to win your first division game. But I look at some of these games and I just don't see the rosters having that much difference. Right? Like I'd be really surprised if this went over much. After the Oregon beatdown, Oak State is eligible for food stamps and financial assistance. Okay. 24-17 Bears, my pick. That very well could be the score. Very well could be the score. I don't even doubt that. Soldier Field always has bad turf. The field is below sea level and doesn't drain right. Don't even disagree with that. Chad Perling loves him some Case Keenum. Bears 29, Vikings 17. Would love it. Bears greater than the Vikings, greater than the Lions. Yeah, the Lions are completely disappointing. What'd you guys see in the games this weekend? Obviously, Buffalo and Baltimore. Again, John Harbaugh is another guy that needs some serious questions asked of himself today. I don't understand how you gave that game away. You gave that game away with some really stupid decisions. And you can't run for 238 yards and lose an NFL game.
Yeah, well, I mean, they lost because Derrick Henry fumbled, and then the Buffalo Bills, absolutely stole the momentum and then drive down the field. And what I think is one of, it just proves the value of Josh, in my opinion. But I think that the Ravens should have won that game all day. And the real indictment is the fact that you didn't put him away. I mean, that's the biggest thing is that one you were playing a game against an AFC championship caliber football team, and you knew that, but you were playing against a team of that quality and dominating them a lot of this game. Like the Ravens at one point were just dominating you. Derrick Henry ran all over that ass like multiple times. And I was like, yeah, bro, like they're coming out of the second half and the broadcast is like, hey, looks like they're going to adjust and do what they did in the playoffs. And they're just going to sell out to stop Derrick Henry. And I was like, all right, cool. Well, Lamar's going to have some easy looks down the field. Then they're going to be just fine. But the idea that Derrick Henry fumbled that football, and I want to give Buffalo's defense credit. He didn't just drop the ball, right? Yeah. Like you punched out the football, you made a play, you deserve credit. But then to drive down the field the way you did, to then get the 2-point conversion, like to then take another drive with a 81-year-old kicker and put him in a position to make a pretty reasonable kick. Yeah, I just think it's losing and winning football at its finest. You were behind. You kept playing, made a play. So that's what that was to me.
You can't fumble. Sure, I get that, but there's 3 minutes left in the game, and your defense absolutely went to sleep. And Josh Allen made some great throws, and take nothing away from Josh Allen. This loss is on Baltimore.
Mm-hmm.
And the Buffalo should have never been in that position, but they never gave up, as Josh said. But I'm just really surprised and almost shocked at how bad Baltimore was down the stretch. It's inexcusable. I mean, It really is inexcusable. And when I look at the ramifications of this game, Lamar Jackson, and I'm not trying to be an asshole about it, does anybody trust Lamar Jackson to throw you to a win?
No.
And he is a better passer. There is no question his passing has improved. I don't trust him as far as I can throw him. I just don't. I mean, to lose this game is unthinkable. It's unthinkable. I mean, to give Buffalo 78 snaps, unthinkable. For that defense to give up 500 yards to Buffalo is unthinkable. I mean, there's just no reason when I look at the fact that Baltimore ran for 9 first downs. Buffalo threw for 21 first downs.
Mm-hmm.
That this is how you lost this game. I don't even know how to describe that.
Well,
when the possessions are 12-11 Buffalo, that you lost the game tells me that you fell apart mentally. You checked out. You turned off the gas. And then when Henry put that ball on the ground, you just could see that Baltimore couldn't get their feet back. They just couldn't get back going.
Yeah, and I think what makes it worse is the other happenings in the AFC, right? I mean, obviously, whoever wins this game has a massive opportunity to get the edge on Kansas City because they lose. Then you're looking at the other two obvious contenders in Cincinnati and Pittsburgh, and didn't love what I saw to Cincinnati. Like,
unthinkable.
Cincinnati was pretty average, dude. Joe Burrow, give the guy credit, stood in there and took a beating. Delivered the football, took big hit after big hit. Did what he had to do to get his ball club a victory. Give him a lot of credit. But they're an average ass football team right now, in my opinion. And as far as A-Rod is concerned, give the guy credit, right? Went in, did what he had to do. Didn't love what I saw, didn't hate what I saw. Kind of for me, kind of what we expected. A little bit slower on the roll, threw the football well, looked competent running the offense, like kind of what you thought it would be. And honestly, I want to give a special shout out to Jalen Ramsey, who is an absolute bully, an absolute pain in your ass if you're playing him. And I know that hasn't changed, but just the hit to end the game there was, I felt like, I was sitting there watching that game and I was like, yeah, dude, like Jalen was sitting there in kind of a softer, I'm not going to say it was prevent, but a softer zone waiting for the play to happen in front of him, read Justin Fields perfectly. And just lowered the boom. It was exactly what Steeler football should be. So
Jake, shut up. Read the
graphic. Aaron Rodgers still sucks. Jake hates him. Yep, that's what the graphic says. Yep. Aaron Rodgers, not the reason they won the ball game. Pittsburgh's defense, the reason they won the ball game.
I'm giving you a chance to walk that back. Go ahead.
What do you mean? What's the problem, dude?
244 and 4 touchdowns when you ran for 53 yards total is exactly why they ran the game. They won the game. And you look at DK Metcalf, you look at Calvin Austin, Jonnu Smith, Aaron Rodgers made the offense go.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, I agree that I thought Chuck Clark was sensational. I thought Cam Hayward played very, very well
on that new contract, that little bump they gave him.
TJ Watt played exactly how you would expect him to play. You look at Jalen Ramsey, not only the tackle, but hitting the quarterback. I mean, that defense is good as advertised. And you start to understand that Aaron Rodgers won them that game. They don't win that game with Russell Wilson as their quarterback.
Yeah, I would agree.
And Justin Fields, I'm happy for Justin Fields, man, because he played his ass off. And I hope that he continues to get that chance. I go back to Justin Herbert. It's everything I wanted to see out of Justin Herbert. And I spent many of hours this weekend strengthening my forearm, thinking about those great throws. You want to hear some numbers? 25 of 34, 318, 3 touchdowns. His average completed pass was 9.4 yards per completion.
Length and girth.
Rated 131. Completely outplayed Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, I will say that I don't know. Like, coming into this game for the Chiefs, it was like, hey, Travis Kelce redemption tour, hey, Xavier Worthy, obviously Pat, patchwork on the offensive line, but Pat will make up for that. And then, Spags doing Spags things on defense. That was kind of the formula. And again, I'm just asking, call me an asshole if you want to.
Jake,
what the hell?
Hey, Jake, you're an asshole.
Yeah, here, let me fulfill the role. What the hell is Buddy doing to Xavier Worthy? What are you doing? Man. And everyone's like, oh, well, it was an accident. It was an accident. And how could that happen? Like, oh, he didn't mean to do that. Dude, I don't care if he meant to do it. The issue is not that he meant to do it or did not mean to do it. The issue is twofold. Number one, your undisciplined, comfortable ass ran the wrong route. You were either at the wrong depth or you physically ran the wrong route, which I'm pretty sure based on the play and based on what was drawn up, you just ran the wrong depth. You were not deep enough, dude.
There's no argument. Travis Kelce is washed, and he is not the same guy. And he was absolutely, positively in the wrong spot. And I think it's hard to argue that. I think it's hard to argue that the Green Bay Packers dismantled the Detroit Lions yesterday. And I hate the Green Bay Packers. But he didn't even play that many snaps. And some dude that used to be a Dallas Cowboy wrecked that Detroit Lions offense, which was inept and incapable. And I think real questions have to be asked about the coordinators in Detroit and how long it's going to take them to get those teams rolling. They could not block the Green Bay Packers pass protecting. They could not block the Green Bay Packers running. You look at Goff sacked 4 times. You look at the fact that they averaged 2.1 yards a rush. This is bad offense for the Detroit Lions, who I think are in a world of hurt. And I don't know how you fix it, man.
Yeah, I think the Lions are going to have to grind it out for a wild card spot. I think that's based on what I saw. Theoretically, it can get better. If you just simply play better football, you block better, you run better, like you do those things at a higher level. Yep. You're going to beat some teams. But I just think that the loss of Aaron Glenn and Ben Johnson is immeasurable. You don't know how much that's going to impact you. Losing one coordinator, like if it was just Ben Johnson, you could say, okay, cool. We're going to try to mimic the offense as much as we can. We can kind of absorb that. But having both sides of the football, especially when you're playing for a head coach who isn't really an X's and O's guy per se, he's more of a motivator, more of an energy guy as a head coach. I just think that that's really difficult. And, I do think, as much as I do hate the Packers, because I do hate the Packers, I do think Jordan Love deserves credit. He looked better. He looked prepared. He was delivering the football.
He knew where to throw the football.
Yeah, like he was ready to go. So give the guy credit, and I would say that's the other thing I'm looking for in this game tonight. I mean, again, right now I have it Packers is the best team in the division. Yeah. Lions are second best. And then I need to know who's third best here, because my feeling is it's the Bears.
Best. There is no second best.
The Lions
are in real trouble. They've got to find a way to turn it around, because there is no second best. Enjoy the football games tonight. We'll be back tomorrow. As always, the Monty Show, presented by the Advocates at theadvocates.com. Be safe out there. There's a lot of kids on the road for school in the morning and the afternoons. Going into winter, a lot of people are crabby. Slow down. Take your time. Look left and right when you're driving in your neighborhoods. And if the worst happens, get to theadvocates.com. Until tomorrow, say please work, audio.
Please work, audio. Goodbye.